Hey guys, this workout is called Balance Yourself. If you want a little bit more of a description, be sure to read the description box for this workout. But otherwise, you're just gonna need 1 or 2 weights potentially. You don't really need any weights. A mat is helpful, and we're gonna be working on trying to create as much contact and force back from the ground as possible. So we're trying to use our bodies to make balance a little bit easier and figure out how can we move effectively to really stabilize our body and everything else that we need to. So let's get started. Okay, so we're gonna start by warming up our wrists and our shoulders as well as our spine. So we're gonna spend about 10 to 15 seconds in a wrist extension. We're gonna go about 5 to 8 times, depending on what your body is calling for. Gripping into your fingertips. And I'm gonna do one more here. Excellent. We're gonna come back and flip the hands around. You can do one at a time or at both at the same time. I'm gonna do one at a time here. Again, about 10 to 15 seconds. You can do that per side or for both. Good, and this one I'm not worrying too much about keeping my wrist flat on the ground. I'm just focusing on getting a stretch through the back of the forearm. Do just a couple more here to match that first side. Excellent. Then we're going to flip the hands around. We're going to stand up and do some shoulder circles. So I'm going to start going back. We're going to do, again, 10 to 15 seconds. So I'm going to do about 5 to 8 circles. Slow down on any spots. It feels really like it's sticky or it needs a little extra stretch. And then switching directions. Very good. You're going to come back down to the ground. Flipping the hand around so the fingers are pointing towards your knees and the top of your hand is on the ground. And again, I'm not going to worry about keeping my wrist on the ground. I'm just going to focus on getting a nice stretch as I push the base of my wrist away from my elbow and coming back. This shouldn't be too intensive. Give yourself a little bit of a relax here. And coming back, nice and gentle, flip back from that. I'm gonna come here, stretching the top of the forearm. One side might feel different than the other. You might have to hang out a little bit in one, that's okay. I'm finding this one for me, because I'm right-handed, is a little bit tighter. Good. Nice and slowly flip back over. We're gonna do some wrist circles next. Nice in both directions. You can write your name. You can do whatever you need to just get some more movement in your wrists. And then we're going to come back down to tabletop and we're going to do some cat-cow. So I'm going to drive from my tailbone and from my pelvis. So I'm going to reach my tailbone up towards the sky. I'm going to drop my belly. Then my rib cage begins to drop. My heart begins to shine forward. I'm squeezing my shoulders down my back and I just look forward as though I'm following my spine. Now I'm going to tuck my pelvis and round away. And untucking, so the pelvis and the tailbone are driving the movement, and then the rest of the back is finishing it up. Engaging your core as you're here, really rounding away. Shoulder blades round to the side of your back. And untucking here. Reaching forward, back and down. Do a few more here. We're looking for a total of 10. I might be off by 1 or 2. doing these at your own pace. Breathing in as your belly comes down and you squeeze your shoulders back. Breathe out as you contract your belly and round away. Let's do one more. And then we'll come back to neutral. Okay, so now we're gonna go ahead and start our workout. So we're gonna begin with bird dog, which is an opposite arm leg extension. We're gonna stay in this tabletop. It's important to not do this as you're reaching out. So I'm going to reach out. I'm gonna start by reaching my right hand out and my left foot out and reaching nice and long to the front and the back of the room, pulling in at my core, really engaging my glute to get my foot back. And then I'm coming back in, knee in towards elbow with a big crunch. And then coming straight back out again. If that feels like too much, just set that hand back down and we're gonna come back out again. I am going to include the crunch, but you don't need to. We are doing 2 rounds of this. So if you wanna try it next time or this time and then not next time, that's okay. We're halfway. We've got 4 more on this side. Keep breathing through this. Nice and long. Let's do 1 more here. Good. Awesome. Let's switch sides. So I'm going to plant my right foot, keep my left knee planted, and I'm going to reach out nice and long, hugging knee in towards elbow. Again, if you want to, you can extend and then set down and then come right back out. You can also just come do a hover without doing the crunch. But I'm going to include the crunch in there. I'm gripping with my fingertips to help protect my wrist. Keep breathing through this. Keep working. You've got this. Let's do 1 more here. Very good. All right. We're going to come out of that. Give your wrists a little bit of a break. We're going to come down to our sides here. I'm going to try to not get my mic as I do this. So I'm going to get my feet in line with my hips. There's a couple of ways I'm going to suggest that you do that. One is keeping knees stacked on the top of each other, both knees at about 90 degrees. And then you could complete the exercise like this. Making sure to not rotate back. We are going for 15, so if this looks good, keep working on it. If you want to extend one leg down, it'll be a balance challenge, but you can come out like this. So this is something you can work towards. Keep breathing, keep going. We've got about 5 more. You can do this. Excellent. Let's switch sides. So again, you can start with the knees bent, or I'm going to start with my bottom leg out a little bit, slight bend to that knee, and opening up. Focusing on engaging my outer hip as I do this. Again, we're going for 15 here, not rotating back. Almost there. Got about 5 more. You can do this. Outer hip is working, outer butt is working. 1 more. Excellent. We're going to come back. We're going to get back onto our wrists here. So do any movements that you need to. Shake them out if you need to. We're going to do a plank to down dog. We're going for 8 of these. So we're going to do them in more of a flow, so similar to the cat-cow. So As we go into the down dog, it is more like the cow position. As we go into the plank, we're gonna get more into that cat position. So let's go ahead and you'll see what I mean as we get started. So again, I'm gonna grip my fingertips so my wrists don't get too tired. I'm going to start in the plank and I'm gonna bend into my knees and I'm gonna shift my hips back and up. And then I'm gonna round through my upper back as I shift forward, bend into my knees, push those hips back. If this feels like too much, we're going for 8, so if this feels good, just keep going. If this feels like too much, you can just practice shifting from plank to down dog and back. Let's do for 3 more here. I'm gonna push back and do that untuck, tuck, come back forward, and last one, back up and round forward from there. Beautiful. All right, so we've got 1 more left in this circuit and then we're gonna take a quick break for about a minute. So we're gonna have feet down here and we're gonna do a boat crunch. So one of the important things is to stand up nice and, or sit up nice and tall. Bring your arms out in front of you and you're just gonna lean back just a little bit and come back up. Make sure you're not doing this. Keep going. If you want to elevate your feet, you can do so, but I would suggest just keeping the feet down and just focusing on how you're doing the lifting. We got about 3 more. Last one. Excellent. Nice job, you guys. Awesome. So we're going to take a quick break. You're going to have about a minute here to get some water, take a second, stretch out your wrists, do anything that you need in order to get ready for this next set. We're going to repeat the same set again with the same reps as well. And we're going to see how it feels. I want you guys to, as I had stated in the beginning, let me know how things feel. Write down in the comments or send me a message and let me know what you notice as you go from the first set to the second set, or the first week to the second week to the third week and the fourth week and beyond. All right, so just take another deep breather. Let's just focus on belly breathing for a second. If you're seated down at your mat, just go ahead and put your hands, 1 hand on your belly and 1 hand on your back. And we're gonna breathe into those areas. So as I breathe in, I'm gonna expand both hands out. As I breathe out, everything comes in. Good. Now on my sides. One last one. All right, let's go for the second time. So we're gonna come back into that tabletop position again, starting with the bird dog. All right, you know how to do it this time. So let's go opposite arm leg extension, coming in and extend out and crunch. Good work, you guys. Keep breathing here. Breath will help you. I know it's hard to remember, but it will help. Keep breathing, keep going, you're almost there. 4 more. Last one. Excellent, nice job. Done with that side for those. Let's go ahead and switch. Extend, extend, big crunch. Extension with a big crunch. Keep breathing, push the ground away with your hand. Feels like a little bit more effort up front, but it stabilizes you so much more. Got 4 more here. 2. And last one. Excellent. Nice job. Let's flip over to those clamshells next. Remember, we're going for 15 of these. This time, I'm just going to start with this leg extended, this slight bend to the knee. I'm going to put my hand on my outer hip, outer glute, engage, and make sure I'm not leaning back as I do this. I'm really just coming from the hip to lift. I don't care how high I'm lifting. I'm just focusing on this engagement. Keep breathing through this. Don't let yourself be so focused that you can't breathe. 5 more. Two more. If you're feeling the burn, that's good. Very nice. Let's go ahead and switch sides. And we'll come out. And again, hand there just to make sure we're using the right things. Not leaning back at all. If one of these feels better to you, complete the one that feels the best. If you want to challenge your balance, this is the one to do that with. The knee in will make it a lot easier on the balance. 4 more here. Last one. Nice. Awesome job. All right, back onto the wrists for that plank to down dog. Let's give it a shot here. So I'm just going to come back into it, bend into those knees, push your hips back, round forward. There's 1. Let's go for all 8 here. And 2. And 3. 4. 5, almost there. 6, 2 more. You can do this. 7. And last one is 8. Shift back and come forward. Very nice. Okay. And last but not least, we can't forget those boat crunches or the high V crunches. Keeping the feet down. Again, really focus on stabilizing yourself. Hands out. And leaning back. Coming up. Keep your core engaged. Keep your head back. Leading with your chest. Almost like you feel like your head is behind you. Which feels very strange, but good. We're halfway there. Almost done with these. 3 more, then you're done with these guys. And then we've got one last circuit for 2 sets left. Last one. Excellent. So we're going to take about a 60-second break. And as you're getting some water, as you're just relaxing, we're going to be talking about getting into the next circuit and what that is going to mean. Okay, so as we're getting ready for this next set, we are going to potentially, if you don't feel comfortable using weights, of course you do not have to use them, but I am going to use them. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm actually going to grab my 5-pound weights for this. There's going to be a few options of how we can do this. But we're not going to quite start right there. So we're going to do something called a crossed single leg hip raise to start here. If you need another couple of breaths or just another sip of water, it's okay. Take that. Just take a breather. Watch me get started. We're going for 12 of these, okay? So you're going to lie back. Cross one foot over the opposite knee, as in if you were to extend your leg up, it'd be a figure 4 position. Making like a triangle right here. So I'm going to make sure my hips are even, and I'm going to push through my left heel, and I'm going to lift up, trying to keep my hips as even as possible as I do that. Trying not to hike this knee in towards me. Really focusing on the glutes, keeping my pelvis tucked, and trying to keep the hips as even as possible. Keep breathing through this. Flexing that foot that's up. Halfway there. Really focusing on pushing most of my weight into my heel as I do this. 3 more. Nicely done, you guys. Let's go ahead and switch for 12 on the opposite side. And let's go straight into it. Lifting for 12, 11. Engaging the glutes, keeping the core nice and tight. 7. Hopefully I counted right. 6. 5. 4. Keep pushing that knee away. As you can see, mine started to come up. 2. 1. And last one here. Nicely done, you guys. Okay, we're gonna sit up. Now, for this next one, it's gonna be really important to keep knees slightly bent. So I'm gonna start this one facing this way, and then for the second side, I'm gonna face straight out, you guys, just so it's a little bit easier to tell. So I'm gonna keep my feet flexed here, slight bend into my knees. I'm gonna go for 12 of these. You can put your hands behind you like so, to the side, but really focus on standing up nice and tall or sitting up nice and tall as you do this. So I'm just going to, from the front of my hip, lift for 12, 11, 10, you guys got this, 9, if you're feeling a lot of tension in your quad, bend that knee even more, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2 more, 2, and last one. Very good. You can see that I was working hard to really not lean back or come forward as I'm doing that. That is a challenge of this. So let's go ahead. We're going to switch sides. So now you can see me straight on. Slight bend to my knees. I'm going to be moving over to my right side. Sit nice and tall and lift using the front of my hip. Okay, we've got 10 more. 9, 8, 7, 6, my core is engaging so that I don't go back or come forward. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Very nice. Okay, so we're going to move to something called a single leg deadlift. Now, you can use both weights or just one weight for this. For this first round, I'm just going to use one weight. For the second round, I'll use 2. So, if you're to use 2, of course, you use it in both hands. But for one hand, or one weight in one hand, we're going to use the same leg that has the weight in the arm. So I'm going to bring my right leg back as I do this one. Kind of confusing. It tends to be, you tend to want to do the other one. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to come forward, engaging my glute. Think about that bird dog we did at the beginning and coming back up. Pulling in at the core and coming back up. Squeeze the inner thighs together as you do this, even as you extend the leg out. And as though someone's gripping your sides, hug your hips in. We're halfway there. We're just going for 8 on this. And although the double weight is more weight, this tends to feel a little bit more off balance and a little bit more challenging in that way. 1 more. Very nice. Let's switch sides. Engaging the outer hip, engaging the inner thighs. You have got this. We've got 6 more here. Tell I'm not perfectly balanced at these either. That's okay. We're always working on it. 5 more. Two more. Nicely done, you guys. Okay, so for this last one in the circuit, we're gonna do a lunge to a knee. We're going for 10 here. So we're gonna go ahead and step. I'm holding both weights in my hands. You don't have to hold weight at all if you don't want to. You can hold both or one weight in both hands if you'd like. So I'm just gonna hold weights in both hands. I'm gonna step back into a lunge or into a big step, and I'm gonna drop into a lunge. And then I'm gonna push through my front heel, drive my knee forward, engaging my core. Step straight back, drop, come up. If you need to tap down between, that's okay. Good, you guys are doing great. We're halfway, push that front heel. If this is bothering your back knee, you might need to step back a little bit more. You might need to put a little bit more weight in your front heel rather than your toes. 2 more. Last one. Very good, let's switch sides. We're gonna head right into it. Got 8 left, keep breathing. Engaging your core as much as possible. Got 5 more. Here's 4, 3, 2, last one, 1. Very nice. All right, so I'm gonna set these back down. We're gonna come back down to the ground. We're gonna take about 60 seconds. Just catch your breath again. Those big muscles in the legs really do tend to wear you out. Get your breath going and your heart going a little bit faster. So get some water, catch your breath. We're gonna do a couple more of those deep belly breathing. One hand on belly, one hand on back. Keep going. As you are going through this and you exhale, focus on how your exhale engages your core, and your core engagement helps assist your exhale. These things work together and work in cycles. So try to pay attention how the exhale and the abdomen engagement are working together. All right, let's move on to this last set. This is the last thing, you guys. You can do this. Cross one foot over the opposite knee, and let's go for it. We're going for 12. We're gonna go straight through this last circuit. Keep your core engaged, your glute engaged, hips even, halfway. We're gonna power through this last one, you guys. You've got it. 2 more. Very nice. Let's go ahead and switch sides. You're just gonna burn out at the last part here, but don't let your form sacrifice because of it. Engaging the glutes, stretching the front of the hips, core engaged. Do 3 more here. Excellent. Let's go ahead and sit up. We're gonna pop right into those single leg flexions. Prop myself up, and I'm gonna go for 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Very nice. Switch sides. 12, 11, 10, 9, you've got this, 8, 7, keep that knee bent, 6, 5, 4, sit up nice and tall, 3, 2, and last one. Nice job. Let's stand up. We've got 8 of these single leg deadlifts. We're almost there, so let's power through. I'm going to use both weights this time. You can do whatever feels right. You may see that I'm a little bit more balanced. We're going for 8 and 7. Keep it going. You can do this. This is the last push. Let's go. And 4. Keep going, don't give up on me. 3. 2. Form is most important, but push through if you can keep your form. And good, let's switch sides. There's 8. 7, keep pushing, you can do this. Collect yourself if your core or if your engagement and your focus is needing a second, but if you're just getting tired and your muscles are burning, keep it going. Let's do 2 more. Oops, I lost that last one. Excellent, okay. Last one, 10 of these lunge to a knee, and then you can relax. You guys got this. We got 5, 4, 3. Keep it going. 2, you can do this. I know you're burning. I know it's tiring. Good, let's switch sides. Last little push, I promise. Push through it, keep going. Keep breathing, I know you're tired. It's okay. It'll be worth it. We've only got 4 more, let's do it. Last one. Nice job, you guys. And you're done. Good work. Give yourself a pat on the back. Take a deep breath. Let's maybe just hang forward for a second. And nice and slowly tuck your tailbone around through your back and nice and slow. Come all the way up. Letting your head be last. Nice job, you guys. Really good work.